Kicking off the day, we got ASC off spawn. They're one of the favorites to be taking out the tournament. They are going to be going one of the global teams, MVP Hong. All the teams icing off the start. Hong already going to start engaging though. Going to get surrounded here. Popsy F1. Hong looking for a stagger onto the UA shot. Trying to lead the charge on to Han. Hong has him against the ropes. Parry's gonna be coming out, but Hong gonna get staggered right now. The weakness of Takeda, but his teammate has an uppercut, and now Miss is put in a tough position. Hong though, 2v2 situation, can't seem to hold it down, and now MVP has a chance to bring this back to a 1v1. Big Parry's gonna come out from Miss, and MVP is gonna get wiped out as the first team today.
Yeah, ASC will be able to walk away with that team fight win, but we're not going to be slowing down anytime soon. Hypercube and DRG are going to be fighting as Talisker is able to find a huge parry coming on through. Tumult Ultimate is going to ice off some of that pressure, but unfortunately, DRG's Dongqing is outside of it as WX98 tries to make magic happen in the middle of his ultimate, but it's not to be. The parry comes on through. He's got to use the combo breaker just to try and clip it. We've got a timing attack as the third party from YZG now comes out into the mix, and all of a sudden, both of these two teams are on the back foot. WX98 is going to be able to play the backside of the fight, manages to find a huge parry, and just continues to be this oppressing presence in the back of the fight with that longsword committing out the focus hits. But finally, YZG are going to be able to turn their focus and deal with the mosquito of that tumult with the LMB coming on out from that dagger at the tail end as OUG now show up to the mix. And good thing for YZG, OUG don't know how many ultimates have been invested. Unfortunately for YZG, they start things out immediately with that Viper V1, and that stun is going to buy them an immediate pick onto QGG.
Oh my god, the drop down, and now the aggression baby U leading the charge is just going to absolutely wipe them out, Moxie. The timing attacks back to back to back, and now YGG's Zen just going to get cleaned up and shipped home from OUG. Man, the parry's gonna be absolutely insane today. Shout out to EWC with these super fast computers. Oh my god, the parry timing's outrageous. We just saw non-stop parries that whole time off spawn. Now we are gonna be going over to one of the OGs, one of my favorite players, Baudas VVV, repping the new tag. He doesn't have his brother TXJ for the first time. I'm curious, can VVV carry his team to a championship? Because normally it's been that duo dominating the league forever. And who was the true carry? Was it VVV? Was it TXJ? This tournament, TXJ's not here, but VVV has a chance to kind of staple. He was the big carry over the years.
Yeah, the fights are going to be starting to slow down somewhat as a lot of these teams have been able to win their hot drop fights, pick up those Fireflies, get their ultimates, and get those immediate eliminations. If they've lost their hot drop fights, they're going to be scattering and off to the outer edges of the map, not wanting to get picked mid-recovery. GG, however, one of our normal slow roll teams, have been entirely uninterrupted in their presence of Secret Tunnel and have themselves a whole lot of loot because of it. Kyle and Ultimate is going to be coming on through, immediately putting on pressure onto Jiang. Jiang, who on that Viper is actually going to try and hide behind the haystack, but they track the Viper down. They know that the Viper Ultimate is what's going to be really unfortunate for the Tianhai to have to deal with, as we can see that Fufu actually cancels the Ultimate early to iframe the stun duration of that V1. They have lost CJS in the meantime, however, and Free-Free-O gets parried, has to invest the bell for that recovery of the combo breaker, but now he doesn't have it. He's got to try and send out the RMB from the longsword, manages to find it, manages as well to backstep out of the grapple extension coming on through, but TGJ has so many of their players, even with a double parry. The Syra has to invest the combo breaker, however, the numbers are against the Tianhai, and Free-Free-O, it really felt like he might find that turnaround, is not able to make the magic happen.
That's a point for the new school, taking down the OGs. GG. Now we're going to go over to EN 521 versus SR. Syra ult's going to be popped. Fat Milk in a tough position, but Kurumi ult's going to be popped defensively. Damage is going down. Temi of Iben looking for a spot for a flank here, but the Justino is going to be dashing through, freezing everyone, stunning everyone in place, but Iben getting flanked by Zhao in a tough position. The Justino dash is just freezing them over and over, and 17S is going to take down Iben. Now Pambi in a juggle, getting sent across the map. It looks like the call was made. We got to salvage the situation as SR is going to clean up 5-1 in the north.
Yeah, one of the main criticisms of Kurumi has always been how static her ultimate is. There we got to see one of the punishments, right? You only get one recast, which means that you can move the ultimate at any time in the Kurumi's ult. However, the second that you've used it, you can't use it again. So if you have something like, say, a Temi or a Justina who can actually capitalize on those static positions, a lot of the time what should become a place of safety turns into a much more dangerous position for these teams to be in. And speaking about dangerous positions, it looks like Vita have been able to catch one person as they were starting to trek on over to a Soul Altar and grab one of their players back, and unfortunately Choice, well, made a little bit of a rough decision in terms of map position and gets picked when there's no teammates to peel for him.
OUG wasting no time, popping the Cyber ult, forcing out the Monk ult. SS leading the charge right now on the Viper. SS, the IGL of OG for the past couple of years. He's one of the GOATs next to TXJ, a tactician. They have YZG against the ropes right now. Monk, nowhere to go right now. Light attacks are going to be coming in. They are going to clean him up. Man, that initial ult right away, this new Attack on Titan, this new rushdown of 2025 really has no breaks, no chill at all. We're just popping ults. Unlike yesterday, we're throwing out the ults.
And they're the ones that get to pop the ults too, because they're running the silence variant of the Viper F ability, as we can actually get to see. There's two variants of the Viper ability. One is a silence and one is a heal cut, plus a lot of damage that scales off of the rarity of weapon that you have equipped when it comes on through. And the reason that they're running that silence is so that they can connect it onto the Tien highs, so that when they use that ultimate to try and find that stun, the Tien highs can't actually avoid it, as we saw GG by utilizing their ultimate and iframing through.
Yeah, every single year, for every big tournament, it always comes down to how people play around Viper. Throughout the year, we discover new compositions, how to play against Monk, how to play Takeda a little bit better, but when it comes to these big stages, kills really matter. We're seeing OUG at the top. The Viper start to the day, 5 kills. YZG Transformers, but both of the Zipping and Monk already taken down. They're at 5 kills, but with all of their teammates down, it's unlikely they're going to be able to keep going. TJG also on Attack on Titan, and we're seeing the new Kebab comp with the Uation Motari. We haven't gotten to see a fight today with that double skewer from the Uation with the Motari. This has evolved this year as the counter comp to the Attack on Titans. Very, very sneaky. It doesn't really do that well in Transformers and Yang, so I am curious to see, as the strategy evolves, which teams are going to be winning as we go towards our first realm of Yang.
Yeah, speaking, like you said, of those Yangs, we're going to be seeing the positioning coming on through. A lot of these teams wanting to just shark out some of these players, potentially grab one of their teammates out with a stun stagger so that you can manage to secure a pick. The Kurumi's even actually going to invest the umbrella so that they can snap it immediately and knock players back over that entrance, because it's all hands on deck. Who is able to make it on through? TJG haven't been able to, and it's going to be a Viper ultimate on the outside. That V1 coming immediately into the mix. However, the Syra on that sidelines is going to be able to pick up No Sense instantly. So we can see that GG's Pro is going to be going immediately for that transform state. Everyone on the side of OUG now going to be squirreling themselves behind those pillars to try and avoid the LOS of those grabs. As SS with that Viper now comes on through, the tether going 3 different ways, which secures onto all of these players, and they manage to find the stun. However, the zip heal is there in the form of the S1, and no one is currently down. It's up to the Siren now to come on through and mitigate the pressure of that Kylan ultimate, which is starting to displace these players from OUG.
The two Titans lead, OUG versus GG. I wanted to see this fight all day. SS leading the charge right now. They are in a dire position. All their cooldowns are blown. And now 330 is going to get a big parry onto SS. Close him out. Now in the 2v3 situation, it's up to you. We've seen him before in these clutch situations. Can he show us magic again today? The flying knife to max range on the flank. He is going to get juggled up. Not today, baby. CJS is going to put him down.
LXM being able to peel the duration of that Viper ultimate so that the Kylan is able to stay alive, keep up the pressure after Furu's ultimate has ended, but not ended is our second realm of Yang. Bayo are going to be able to secure a pick off of that scale rush into LNB coming on through from XCM on that longsword, and the Tumult Wisp is also going to be able to grab that player up who was trying to use Pillar Tech and potentially set themselves up for a pick to come on through. And this is really, really big for both of these teams, because Bayo, while they're not running full traditional Transformers, they are running actually 2 traditional Transformer heroes, or rather not traditional, because Barrier is new Transformers gen, and Yue Shen is old Transformers generation. In fact, it's been a good 2.5 years since we've seen Yue Shen in a Trios composition, but the reason why it's so important that these Transformers manage to win these Realm of Yangs is because the damage that their ultimate does and the health that their ultimate has access to scales off of the equipment that they have when they activate it.
Yeah, Naraka Trios has really shown the importance of looting up over the years. It started out, you know, just monks everywhere at first, and then over the years, strategy evolved. And now we are going to go to the highlights of ASE versus SR. Mist bumping into that Justina F and following in crispy parries again. Like all day, Moxie. I believe we're going to be seeing more parries. Now moving over to the global 5-2-1, finishing their Realm of Yang. Outside though, Spirit Well action going down. ASC versus GG. Both these teams very, very all in the situation, but ASC does have their millions buff. Not really a big risk here. They are going against the Titans. It looks like GG really needs this scaling option. They really need to claim this for more loot, especially because they are running that monk. They want this loot, but multiple teams showing up to the party. SR is here, DRG is here, GG is here. We're about to have a mosh pit. Justina Dash is going through, Zipping Alt is going through. CJS is just in the blender, and he gets shredded by all the flying knives.
Yeah, every single team is pretty much here. The teams that won their Yang, the teams that didn't and have Yang depletion. Viper ultimate comes on through. It's going to be that stun variant, which is about to snap on off, and ASE's missed. Gets snapped in half by the RMB coming on through from that pulse sword. 17S is also going to be able to find a catch onto GG's LXM. Manages to make it to the outsides of that Tumultuous ultimate too, covered by his Syra beaming to make sure that no one tries to pressure him when he's trying to stabilize. As we can see, Hypercube also going to be coming in with Justina ultimate in a matter of moments. As Free-Free-O is getting focused down, manages to find the parry. The Kurumi ultimate isn't his, so he's not getting any form of that healing. The slam down with the vertical on the spear. He almost manages to find the kill, but Baby U with the freeze from the back is going to be able to catch him. He has to burn the combo break to try and recover, and that means he doesn't have it up. As OUG come on through with the Viper ultimate to potentially bookend the fight. As Jinyu comes on out with that Syra ultimate, microwave beaming past every single person who got hit by the concuss.
Yeah, OEG with that Yang depletion, they're looking for a nice pick-off here. They are going to fall back. We are going to get an ISO fight, though, versus Bauda and TJG. VVV stuck in a combo from Jang Jang. Going for a ride, put against the wall. See you later, VVV. The all-in from TJG going in hard. This is such a change from the previous finals. All the Vipers are laying waste to all the Transformers. This rushdown is just too hard to deal with, as OUG's SS is going to get wiped out by SR. It looks like the league, Moxley, has settled in that the new Attack on Titan variation is the Viper Syra Justina.
Well, we're not going to be seeing any lull in fighting right now, as DRG just rolled into another engagement. ASC also going to be trying to catch YZG on the outsides of that zone. The Kylan ultimate has already been forced. The Kylan guard already burned on through, and SR will be able to pick themselves up a scavenger pick onto DRG, something that GG was actually known for, where they would rotate around the map and try and catch players who were looking to recover, buying their players back. If you're new to Naraka, there are a couple of ways that you can bring your players back. You can either revive them on the body, which if you have multiple people actually on that body, it doubles up the cast speed. If you have a Kurumi, the heal tether, the base app ability, can actually tether onto the Ken and revive a player from distance, or you can buy them back with a rebirth charm. But to get access to those, well, it costs a lot of money, and you also don't want to really revive someone in a position where they're in the middle of a team fight instantaneously, because when you revive them, you do it without any real good loot. They lose everything that they had on their body unless they have Vermilion Bird's Might.
We're seeing the first start of it. The Farias have found each other. The Kebab team's looking to put people on the stick and skewer them. The new Yue Shan come. I'm not gonna lie, Mox, I'm super excited to see him. Yue Shan finally back, and he's played a variation we've never seen before, his pure DPS variation, where you can combo and do a huge sweeping attack off of it, and you're going to get two of them with the Batari ult refresh. Now we are going to go to Rio Yang, TJG versus SR.
Viper mirror.
We got a little bit of a hit of the tuna right before 17S. We're going to be following him. He's looking for a pillar flank. Not going to be able to get it. He is going to pop a heal, waiting for this Viper ult to come through. Justina Dash is going to be coming in, and his teammate is able to find the stun onto Afan, and now Justina in a tough position right now. Freeze is going to come in, and they do get the execution. The rush down ends up going perfectly. Now they all blew their cooldowns in a 2v3 situation. There is a chance for the enemy team to bring this back. It's up to 17S to secure the follow-up. The V1 finally pops out from Justina from Viper, but will this stun land? He is down to 1 HP, but 17S is going to take him down with the scale rush, and now with the formality, they're going to keep YZZ alive to try to time out to extend their Viper duration as they come out the Realm of Yang.
Yeah, there's a lot of reasons for why these teams don't want to immediately win their Realm of Yang. If they can just time it out for as long as possible, they'll be the team with the longest lasting buff, and it'll also be the safest because they don't have to embroil themselves in a Yang depletion fight where potentially they go out of the lobby early as everyone sees the loot that they have and decide that they want it for themselves. It's the way that the Viper compositions manage to upgrade their loot, is either winning Realm of Yang or absorbing that loot from a team that's a little bit more stacked than them. So we're potentially going to be seeing a lot of attention go the way of the Viper compositions for that reason. So it looks like GG were also able to pick themselves up a Realm of Yang win, second in a row for the Transformers composition, which historically has been one of the best compositions into the Realm of Yang, as it's the weakest into the third-party fight, as it requires so many ultimates to get dumped into one go, and it really means that if you get third-partied by a team coming through later, you don't have anything left in the tank to be able to survive. But Realm of Yang fight is just a fair free versus free. Speaking about fair free versus free, it looks like two of our teams have decided to make the optimal game choice and not fight each other to reveal their presence and give a potential team with Yang depletion an opportunity of getting a couple of kills.
We are getting a replay of GG versus ASC. Looks like GG already has them against a Rose, but Han bringing it back with a big Dragon Slayer. His teammate from Max Range trying to help him with a couple bow shots. Max Range Army's going to come out. He does get the uppercut. Oh, if he just had a little bit more health, he possibly could have clutched it. But now moving in to transitioning to this end game, we are seeing GG and NA's RL roaming around. The monks have found each other holding hands. We are going to get OUG's SS roaming around with that Mystic Mike, giving them that vision around the map. Their goal, when you get that blue buff, is to find any solos and duos who might be trying to rat their way to an endgame. Just because the placement points do matter, but I'm not going to lie, Moxie, in the modern Naraka, it used to be very, very common being able to make it to these endgames, but unless you really got your sneaky shoes on, it's really hard to get there. But we did see OUG clutch it up, do it recently, so is that still possible? OUG is going to find TJG on their hunt.
Yeah, TJG are going to be found just on the outskirts of Shipwreck Cove over towards Gorge. However, both of these teams not really going to be taking the fight at the moment, as they don't want to reveal. For TJG, they've got Yang depletion. They don't want to show that outwards aggression because it's immediately going to reveal that they're the Viper composition who are under that debuff, and that they're going to have to get more aggressive, because what you can actually do as a finesse is figure out the time when that Yang depletion is going to expire and go for a last hit betrayal. As we can actually see the Viper ultimate came on through. One came on through first, however, and Jiang is able to cancel out the other Viper V1, which means all of a sudden, OUG, they thought that TJG weren't going to fight them. The knife in the back, the Viper V1 unexpectedly, and OUG get absolutely burned.
When friends become foes. That was so sneaky. They literally showed the vibes like, yeah, everything's chill. The Viper just sneaks up right behind OUG and ult in the center team. We are going to get a follow-up. Justina also be coming out. Jang now getting harassed by an enemy. Justina, he flies to the sky, grappling away, but SR, hot on ECL, 17S, knows that this team just popped their ultimates, knows that they just betrayed. This is not the Viper team you want to be next to. That betrayal, that karma coming back to bite them in the butt. TJG's Jang is going to be taken down by Zhao, and now Rico moving away. YZZ putting on his sneaky shoes, hiding in the corner. He is going to be able to get away now that Mystic Might has faded out.
Yeah, and his player still hasn't bled out too, so he might be able to backtrack over to the body, and all of the attention that's going on down between this fight of SR and ASE. Viper ultimate is going to come on for Zhao and trying to manage to find that last little bit of opening to take down Zhao, but the suppressing fire from the Ferrier mech is going to be potentially the thing that finally takes this Viper out. He's trying to run into Waterfall Cave so that he managed to have a little bit of terrain to hide himself, and another one of his teammates who's a little bit fuller in health has actually been able to step up to that forward position and absorb the pressure and let him get away and stabilize. Mist comes on through with the RMBs on those throwing knives, trying to find the opening. However, we can see that YZG's XZL has timed out, unfortunately, to that Yang depletion, as Rico now has to burn the combo breaker, trying to take the fight against Xiaowen, but it's not a fair 1 versus 1. The reinforcements are here, and now it's a matter of 2 versus 2. Who's going to be able to keep up the pressure?
17S has been absolutely insane on the Justino, like a rocket ship. We are going to be on ASC Xiaowen, though. One of his teammates is going to go down. It's made. The call is made. He's looking to damage control and disengage here as we look at the overall map. The congestion of this zone rotation. 5-2-1's coming in with the third party in timing. Bauda is showing up to the party now. DRG is going to be cleaning up this fight as Kakashi gets that last kill. We are seeing the Kurumi variation of Sand Siphon coming back after a little bit of a hiatus. Now that Syra is so important on the rushdown composition, we've kind of seen her everywhere. She was on Transformers, she was on Siphon, and now she is on Attack on Titan. She's part of the rushdown composition, replacing Wu Chen.
I think we actually got to see as well some teams being very smart. They got some very late picks onto ASE's players, which meant that the Soul Bloom is still going to be up and available before that 2-minute timer comes on through. But it looks like everyone is actually going to be in that zone, so no one is potentially going to be hit by that Yang depletion.
To be tough, I saw RL in the background. They're looking like blueberries on the Transformers. They do have Yang depletion. They need to find a situation here, and this is the problem if you do not find kills. You find yourself in this awkward position where the lobby starts checking everyone's health. Hey, what are the vibes over here? You don't want to be the weakest link. We do get a Ballista shot coming out from Rico, just tickling GG on their rotation. Now Bauda does have the White Tiger buff. Looking around, checking the vibes with everyone. No one really wants to commit here until a team reveals who has the Vermilions or who has Yang depletion. Every team is kind of hawking, waiting to see that little bit of weakness before a bloodbath is about to happen.
Well, we might be seeing that now as DRG are potentially going to get caught on the wrong sides of this rotation. They're also all blueberries, terminology that we use because they're very easy to pick if they've only got blue armor in comparison to what everybody else is rocking. At this point in the game, your scaling needs to be incredibly high up there, otherwise you are just a very easy vulnerable target. With Wu Chen not being in the mix, that potential to block a lot of ranged incoming damage has been severely limited. So if we see something like a Temi-Wisp go that way, it could be curtains for them in a matter of moments. It looks, however, like you said, no one really wants to make that first move because they know if one fight kicks off, if everyone goes and takes a fight against DRG, that powder keg that is waiting to explode is instantly going to burn into motion. And a lot of these teams don't want to have their hands forced in regards to ultimates because they might ult to win a fight at that point, but then without that ultimate, they'll lose the war at a later one.
Yeah, we did see some cheeky plays with the Viper sneaking up and getting that stun. That's the problem. Even though you're standing next to each other, it doesn't mean that you're actually friends. At any point, if things get swirly, a Ballista shot comes down, big damage goes onto one team, anyone can betray in this spot. We are going to be moving into the 80% Moonbane part of the game. Moonbane comes down, taking up most of the space, and everyone's forced to the corners, and this sometimes excites action. If you get caught lacking in this spot, you could be taken down. HY has somehow survived the situation as a duo. The second a team starts counting how many they have left, look to them to get picked off, but somehow to list...
They're playing close to GG. They're costume changing and pretending that GG's Tian High is theirs, because we see all of the wonderful cosmetics and customizations that these players have. The players themselves don't. So we refer to it in the industry as the costume change, where if you're being chased, then you would actually try and put as much distance between yourself and another team, swap your weapons so you're not easily identifiable. But in trios, what you can actually do is hug another team who have a similar composition and pretend so that they don't realize that you're 2 or 1 against the world. As we can actually see that Free-Throw has been forced into burning out that Tianhai ultimate, and instantly everyone is looking to shark him down. The Viper ultimate is going to be iframed, but it comes at the cost of the ultimate rather than the activation of it. And now he's incredibly vulnerable and relying on his 2 teammates. They're zipping in the Kylan to have his back as they reposition. As we can actually see the Viper have moved into prime position of controlling that Spirit Well with the Ferrier mech and the cannon pressure that it can output onto the players around.
Interesting. Bauda moved on to the Spirit Well before GG can set up. GG is known for their Spirit Well play, but just a couple seconds made all of the difference right there as Bauda took control of that Spirit Well. Now the rest of the lobby is going to be rotating out. GG not going to be all inning here. We're seeing Bauda in the kill feed. They did manage to take that Spirit Well using the Ferret to push the monks away, and now Bauda has a second momentum. They get to referee this lobby and see who they want to take out, and it looks like SR is going to get another pickup as the zone closes. It's getting a little bit too cozy for the rest of the teams as everyone starts unleashing their cannon shots, poking everyone into an awkward position. Everyone's kept a lot of their ammo saved up for this exact position. Look for a team to get really low here for another fight to break out.
I mean, I like the fact that the Sand Siphons have actually laid claim immediately to the highest ground. Seb actually talked about it on the desk, that Viper drop down with the ultimate. They love to find high positions and drop down with that V1 so that you don't have the opportunity of hiding yourself out of LOS to break the tether coming on through. So it makes sense that both the Sand Siphon compositions have hauled themselves up into that position to block the Viper comes from having control of being able to do just that, as the rest of the space has so many corners, so many walls. The Viper ultimate isn't going to find as much value as if we were ending on somewhere like Sunwing, which is famed for the verticality that it brings to those final zones.
I'm surprised Taliska has been able to survive this long as a solo Kylan, keeping EU's hopes alive in the corner. But moving to the south, GG, the Titans of the lobby. They're known for this endgame. They're known for being the maestros of endgame. They have so many wins in their back pocket. 3-3-0 on the Monk. Looks like they're reclaiming this house, trying to avoid all of the possible AoE damage. Out of sight, out of mind. Unfortunately, though, the cannon shots are going to be chipping them through the wall, but they do manage to slow things down. Even though the cannon shots are coming in, a lot of these teams want to hold their ammo down. 3-3-0 is getting very, very low, and on the outside, Rico with their Viper is waiting for that exact time to get that Viper on, and unfortunately for Taliska, he is going to get caught out. He is going to cause the actual mayhem to start. Temio's going to be coming down, V1's going to be coming down, and 5-2-1 makes a play for GG in the house. They're in a tough spot between the Temi wall. Ivan is going to get juggled by the Kylan ult, but the Karumi ult is going to pick them up. Now, this is a mosh pit inside. Monk cannot ult in here, and 5-2-1 is going to steal the house away from GG.
Yeah, GG evacuated from that house, now going to have to come out with Free-Throw's ultimate to give themselves a little bit of briefing room as everybody else goes to the other side to play it safe. SR holding that position, also going to be holding onto their ultimates as Kakaishi and DRG get picked. A double pick managed to come on through from GG off of a double slam. That Tumultuous ultimate is actually giving Free-Throw a window of safety to recover the second that his TNI ultimate drops, because now he doesn't have to burn that combo breaker, as the Tumultuous ultimate was able to block all of the pressure from the rest of the teams. It did, however, isolate everybody else out from a potential double grab coming on through, which meant that GG didn't find all of the kills that they were looking for, and they now have to swap to Cannon to start recharging that rage as quickly as possible off of all of that AoE pressure. We can see that Free-Throw is just going to continue to spam that damage. He doesn't have repair, also has to take a little bit of downtime, as we can actually see that we've got Twin Shot Bounce Shell coming on through for Free-Throw so he can get double the connections, double the rage generation. Has to be careful that he doesn't get silenced though and can't utilize that ultimate, as GG are going to be relying as that zone closes and all of these players are pushed from the safety of that house directly directly into GG's literal waiting arms as Furifru is going to look for that ultimate and try and scoop up as many as he possibly can. And Bowder decide that they're going to make the first move before GG can get into position. VVV's already on the mech. He can potentially knock back the Tianhai if a player gets grabbed, and he's going to look to do just that, as we can see Rico from the top ropes playing above it all in the hopes of holding onto the Syra ultimate for that last possible moment.
SR, the last one to go, their last ditch effort with their V1, not able to get him about a XCM on the Uation, putting people on the skewer, getting everyone out there. He's going to hold the center, his health is going down slowly. He does find a big skewer onto plan B, sends him flying. XCM down to his last leg, but in the sky. GG is going to have a couple kills, but it is going to be Rico and GG with the tie to close it out.